Hey everyone, it's the Sith Justice Warriors coming at you with a typical Sunday podcast with my co-host, Princess Lumpia.
Happy Sunday. Welcome back, football, everyone.
Yeah, well, my team really got killed, so I don't really care.
We can skip
No,
it.
I mean, did your team do well?
I have two teams.
Oh, good for you.
So, but my favorite quarterback did not do well today. So I'm really upset about it. But knowing that for those of you who love or hate Tom Brady, I am a big Tom Brady fan, and he had a rough day today with the Bucks against the Saints. They lost 34-23. He's still in great form. It's just a shame he's surrounded by a lot of young receivers, young talent that just need to get on board. I mean, there were a couple plays where Mike Evans really did not, he just stopped running his route. And you had to wonder. Later on, he made it up with
Did he get a
touchdown.
touchdown?
He did.
Son
But
of a... Oh my God.
But you know what? He actually was the reason that they lost. Like he always got into a fight too. So like I said, it was a sloppy game, and it wasn't Tom Brady. It was the Bucks team. They just weren't together. And I also expected more out of my fave Gronk, but you know, I guess he's also not in shape. Who knows? I will say, like, there were a lot of people who were showing their COVID colors in the sense of they must have just been spending the time in quarantine not working out. So now the conditioning is showing, and they are not doing well out there, folks. And it's just week one. But anyway, maybe we'll save that for another podcast because I would like to talk about it. But
Yeah, whenever we could get serious at the right time, I think he'd love to go on there.
exactly. But right now he is watching football game. So yeah.
Good for him.
Yes, exactly. Good for him.
So I think we're gonna do a little bit of a combined one. I'll raise my hand and admit I've been so busy that Fridays I couldn't do the regularly scheduled paddle panel podcast PPP. You down with PPP?
Yeah, you know me.
Uh, no, but seriously, I hopefully I can get some schedules ironed out so that we could go back to that. But before we'll catch up with the PPP, uh, Lumpia, there's a little bit of entertainment news that's worth mentioning, and why don't you kick it off?
Yeah. There's just a couple things before we kind of hit the roundup. But the first thing I did, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention, I honestly wanted to do just a solo podcast about it, but I think Warner Brothers, who would have shut me down if I did a trailer reaction because they were apparently on a roll with shutting down trailer reactions to the Dune trailer that aired this week. But there were some early reactions to it that they were just shutting down, like left and right, of a lot of YouTubers that I follow that were trying to do reaction videos, not even showing the videos, just talking about it. So it was getting messy, and it's actually getting to a point where a lot of those fellow YouTubers are like, what the hell? You're trying to make money off me, and I am literally just trying to support your film. So either way, as a fan of the novel by Frank Herbert, I'm very impressed with what the trailer brought out. I love the stark colors in there, like Arrakis. If you're not familiar with the book, it takes place on a desert planet called Arrakis, total desert. And so like the colors, the hues in the film were really great. Like between the desert planet, the planet Caladan, where our protagonist is from, which is all water, and then to the like uniforms, to the still suits, even the sandworm was impressive. It was such an amazing trailer. I'm pretty sure everyone who's listening has already seen it by now. If you're a fan or just if you're in media, you would be remiss to have not seen it. It looks like a beautiful movie. I'm really excited. I'm curious because it's only the first half of the original like it's going to cover the first probably half or a little bit more than that of the book. But it looks like it's going to be exciting. I'm now seeing articles pop up left and right saying that like people are upset with it and they want reshots done. I really don't know. I was happy with it as an avid reader of the novels, as well as, you know, they're also saying, is this going to go into the 2020 slate, because no one can go into IMAX, no one can go into the theater right now. It's limited, basically. And to be honest, I have not ventured into the theaters. There just hasn't been anything that has made me want to go, but this would be the movie that I would go to see in IMAX just because it looks so beautiful. But I digress. So that was really the biggest piece of news that I wanted to talk through, because, and I don't know if you had a chance to see it, Phan, but if you didn't, I would say definitely go see it. If you get a chance, it just looks beautiful. Like I'm excited for it. The cast is amazing. It's going to be a really, really epic film if we could get to the movies.
You know, you're gonna hate me. I actually didn't like it.
You didn't, but did you ever read the book?
What, page 5?
Oh.
No, you know, that's one of the things I've been always trying to, but I think the I don't know, like I expected it to be more epic, and maybe it was the character, and I understand Paul, right, Paul?
Yep.
I understand he's young, but it it feels, I don't know, I just don't. I thought I envisioned Paul a little bit differently for someone who's read 5 pages of the book.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wanted it to be more epic. It was kind of cool to have what's his name, Momoa there,
Yeah.
but he was
Yeah.
like there for 2 seconds.
Because he dies in the book. Sorry, spoiler alert. He dies in the book, but he exists in all the rest of the books because he's brought back as a Gola, which is basically like a mix between like a clone and cyborg. You know what I mean? So,
Oh my gosh! So you're telling me that the only good thing about the movie from the trailer, Jason Momoa, that I'm not going to see it? Is this Star Wars?
like I said, he dies, like, because I mean this book, like, yeah, like he dies, but he comes back. Like I said, he actually he actually lives thousands of years because he's a Gola, and there's several of him that they bring back to life, and they all have the memories of each other. So,
All right. Well, let's stop there because I'm too lazy to read the book. I will one day. I will one day. I
yeah.
just don't know when. But
No,
yeah,
that's interesting that you say that, because I think I get what you're saying. Like, for someone who probably, and maybe, like I said, the demographic or the target market for this is the people who've read it. And for someone who hasn't or just knows a little bit about it, it's interesting. It didn't really grab you. So I wonder if they really will hold off launching it in the movie theater, because I will say, like in other news, Tenet, which was that Christopher Nolan film that was like almost Inception like, where these people died and then they like, I don't know, they like everything's like backwards. I don't know. I didn't get to see it, but it looked very Christopher Nolan-esque, and I found out that they refused to actually share any of their theater, like, you know, profits or revenue from the theaters, because I think they're trying to figure out whether they want to continue this path of rolling things out. You know what I mean?
it's
Because
gonna be a while. Yeah, I mean, I think movie theaters in general are gonna struggle even if they try to like slowly open up. I don't know how. I mean, you'd have to prove, for example, you've upgraded your HVAC so that there's air filters, that this thing will be caught in your air filter. I could just see this going to be a painful burn to hopefully get back to normal, but it's going to be a bloodbath.
exactly. And then I think the only thing I wanted to mention was that you know, and we'll probably talk through it because I was just in the Marvel thing, just the Marvel bucket of news. But apparently, a couple of things are returning back to Marvel, so they'll be on Disney Plus. I think Iron Fist and Luke Cage are one of them. It'll be interesting to see if Disney basically blurs some of the things that happen in those movies. I don't know.
Oh, that would be horrible. That would be so horrible. Like
You know how they
oh,
did that with Wolverine or whatever, but then I don't know. Like it's
wait, they did?
no, I heard that they were going to, but then they just kept the scene where he cursed.
Jesus.
So, like I
Jesus.
said, I don't know if they're gonna do the same
Oh
because
my
there
God.
were a few there were definitely a lot of scenes in both of those that you know
Like
that
Punisher 1 was just brutal, and I
yeah,
love Oh
I don't
man.
even know if that's gonna I don't even know if we'll get that on Disney, but Disney Plus. But there was that, and then like I said, the other piece of the Marvel news was around just um in general, like the game, and we'll get into the gaming pretty soon after this section. But the Avengers game, which we really should spend some time talking about. I didn't get to do the beta, but I did go and watch some of the gameplay that was streamed online and on YouTube. And I will say it looks amazing. Like just I mean, I wish they looked like the Avengers from the MCU, but I really like the way the gameplay looked. It was a little confusing because I didn't know if you switch from different perspectives in the game. It sounds like you did. Because in one moment you're Captain America, and the next moment you're playing as Hulk, and then the next moment you're Iron Man. So like it's interesting. I wanted to get your take on it, and I wanted to talk you through one scene, and this is going to spoil things. So if you want to skip, feel free to. There's one scene in the boss fight, the final boss fight, that I was like, oh my God, we got to talk about this because I didn't realize this was what the powers of Miss Marvel entailed. And I don't know much about her, but I had to talk about it. So anyway.
I watched some of it. It's still a game that maybe when it's on sale. I think it turned me off with the marketing.
Yes.
We saw articles about it's going to be on from Kamala Khan's perspective, and oh, you know what? The best part of this game is Kamala Khan. The whole Sana Amanat push of Kamala Khan. I heard that Brie Larson actually wasn't happy about that marketing. All this other crazy stuff, but I mean, I do not penalize the game because Tony Stark doesn't look like Robert Downey Jr. or
Yeah.
I don't penalize that game. I understand it's going to cost them billions for that. I don't also knock them for having different voice actors because again, that's another couple billion you'd have to pay. I think it's actually funny that I think that Natasha Romanoff's voice actress is Abby from The Last of Us too.
Oh, that's why the voice sounded so familiar.
Someone's got to fact check me, but I think she was because someone asked her if who would win in a fight, Abby and Black Widow, and I'm like, actually Abby, because you see in the trailer where she Hulk smash, she grabs one of the zombies as it's about to bite her with her bear claw, and just like does a Hulk slam to the wall, and it crushes the the, the skull. And I'm like, yeah, with those biceps and those roids, yeah, I believe Abby could do that. No, I digress. I mean, it's one of those games like I'm struggling right now. I think we missed Solstice of Heroes.
Yeah, we did. I'm so excited.
We missed that grind, and I'm like, light Beyond Light's coming in November, and I'm barely catching up. I'm barely breathing with other stuff that just took up my time. But yeah, I think when I have to talk to you about that. I have to talk to you about a different character in that Marvel game, but the marketing really turned me off because it was like they're marketing the original four core Avengers, and then they're telling me that it's all about this Marvel, and then then they were promoting, oh, you get Hawkeye after launch, and then you had the whole Spider-Man is only on the PlayStation version, what else? This is what I wanted to talk about before we talk about your Kamala Khan.
Yeah.
Did you see the Kate Bishop trailer for that game?
No, I did not. Now I'm gonna have to look for it.
Just look it up because you know what? Is it a surprise that Kate Bishop looks like the way she does? Like I wouldn't know if it was Kate or Clint, if you know
Oh
what I mean.
no, my God. Oh
Of
my
course they made Kate Bishop look like no, but I just thought it was funny that of all the people I never would have thought Square Enix would, how do I say this? Design their characters in the way that Marvel would approve it.
Oh boy.
Marvel Comics would approve it. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Kamala Khan because I didn't see the trailer you sent me. But
Yeah, it wasn't a trailer, it was actual gameplay of the boss fight as well, and it was posted on YouTube. And basically, like I said, spoiler, you face MODOK, and there's two battles, one to take him out, and then the next one you have to face this like Kree Sentinel looking thing, and it's a big gigantic thing. It's like the size of a building, the size of a typical Sentinel, and who gets up to fight it because everybody else couldn't pummel it. Like you had Hulk trying to beat the crap out of its head, and it pushed him down. You had Captain America and Iron Man trying to shoot at it.
And let me guess who beat it.
So you have Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan,
She beat
growing to like the size of a Sentinel because I didn't know she could.
She beat it.
And then beating him up.
Of course she did.
She's punching him, and she's the size of a Sentinel. She's punching this thing because MODOK is controlling it. She's punching the living crap out of it because, I didn't know she could grow that big because if I recall in the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards could not grow to that size. He could stretch his body, but he couldn't change into basically a giant version of himself. Could he? So she grew to Godzilla size and started beating him up with her fists, and then finally freaking impaled him and kept punching the living crap out of him. And he kept shouting at her saying he's the good guy because she's an Inhuman and they were born out of violence and blah blah blah. She's beating him up, and then she faints at the end because
of course she did.
Down, and then she woke up and she's in front of Bruce Banner. So
wait, so the Avengers could not do it, but
no, but she did. That's why I wanted to talk to you about this.
That's how they ended the game.
Yes, this is the ending of
so you're telling me that I really am justified in not playing this game.
Yes, as good as it looks.
Jesus Christ. Really? You're telling me you're telling me
20 minutes into the
oh my god
into the gameplay that I sent you. But basically that's what it is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The agenda.
You're gonna have to go. Well, it's a 28 minutes. It's a 28
Richards could not even do not even.
She grew to Sentinel height and started beating him up, and I didn't think she could do that. I thought that her power. Now let me look it up on Wikipedia because I didn't realize that was her power. I thought that her power was to like Reed Richards, she could stretch her body. Elasticity. Well, now apparently on Wikipedia, it's shape-shifting, elasticity, healing factor, and polymorphism.
Healing factor does it? So what? And she's better than Wolverine at healing too?
I have no idea, but I'm just what? I mean, this is according to Wikipedia now. I didn't know that. I didn't know she could grow to Godzilla size. That was never something I understood about her. And so I guess she can, and she freaking beat the living crap out of him. And then she, apparently fainted because it took so much out of her, woke up, and apparently, I guess the whole storyline was that she was being mentored by Bruce Banner.
Jesus Christ.
And he's like, I thought I was mentoring you, but you actually taught me a lot.
Jesus fucking Christ. Are you fucking kidding
Not going
me?
in 15 to 20 minutes into what I sent you.
Wait. So oh my god. Who the you know what? Like
I really didn't know she could grow that tall.
I told you this is the worst bait and switch.
And she's the one that saved the day because
Of
none of
course
those
she
Avengers
did.
could do it. Not even freaking Thor, the god of thunder. And it looked like you play as each of them.
Yeah, but
like,
I knew it. It was a bait and freaking switch.
so all the gameplay, like in the beginning, it's like it starts out you're Captain America, you're running through and dodging shit to get to the final boss section. Then like Hulk comes smashing in and you take over and do his part. Then the next one is Iron Man because you need his like whatever rays to like take out the thing. Like so you actually it switches different perspectives in between. And then as Kamala Khan, you hit certain buttons. You know how like in Tomb Raider, you would, in order to avoid something, you mash the Y button or something like that. So it tells you like hit X or hit not X, hit the square button. Like tap the square button in order to like avoid this hit or like to to hit the thing, like or like impale him into this thing. Like yeah. This has to be the ending. I don't know where these graphics came from. Like I said, the gameplay looked great from what I saw. I just didn't realize that she could grow that big, but apparently she can, according to the Marvel database. She can stretch, deform, expand, or compress her entire body or parts. Therefore, into any contiguous shape she can imagine. So basically, she can grow.
So she's God.
And
she's smarter. She's smarter than Bruce
rapidly healing from injuries such as bullet wounds.
Jesus Christ! So she's Wolverine too?
So extensive healing also leaves her heavily fatigued and hungry. So that's why she fainted and kept saying she was hungry.
Oh, God.
At the end, because when she woke up, she was like, "Is there anything to eat? I'm starving." Like, and I was just like,
"Dear Lord."
So this is. It is. She has an accelerated healing factor, size alteration, appearance alteration, morphogenetics. So yeah, she's a polymorph. It says here.
What the fuck?
She can grow like as tall as a sentinel.
So, like I said, you buy this game for the Avengers, but you get the bait and switch. I was hoping it was the reverse bait and switch where they were like, "Hey, it's Kamala Khan, everyone. We need to praise this game." And then you really like are the four Avengers, and no, it's the worst bait and switch, which is, hey, you get to be Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, or Black Widow. No.
What's interesting is, like I said, I mean, if you really look at a lot of the articles out there, 1 week ago, CNET, the name of the article is Marvel's Avengers Early Impressions. Kamala Khan is the hero this game needs.
Yeah, of course.
And again, 2 days ago, why Marvel's Avengers could evolve into my 2021 Game of the Year. 6 days ago, Avengers Eurogamer, Avengers Kamala Khan is this year's most important hero. Like, I mean, yeah, the bait and switch is true. Like, but I think that's how they fixed it. Is that they, instead of having you play as her, they allowed you to play as each of the Avengers in certain pivotal moments of the game. And like I said, I have not played the game, so don't judge me if I'm wrong. But based on the boss fight, you had different perspectives and had to accomplish different things in order to beat the boss from different points of view. So like that's the way I'm taking it. Yeah.
It's the great bait and switch, but it was the worst bait and switch. And you know what? I'm going to end it there. I mean, they're trying to make this the destiny of the game. You know.
Because the DLC, and I do see Kate Bishop, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say.
That wasn't the Kate Bishop that I remember, but okay.
No,
Yeah.
no, I guarantee you they're gonna make that the Kate Bishop you see in Disney Plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I won't
Let's not belabor the point, but
yeah, I
you
won't
got me on a rant about how wonderful the leading Miss Marvel is, and actually, there was a rumor that Brie Larson didn't like the fact that Captain Marvel didn't uh,
oh
didn't
that
get
she
that.
wasn't there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she didn't like that. In fact, she would probably beg right now to do the voice acting because she's probably bored with her YouTube channel that does thousands of likes and all that stuff.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
If I could get like 10 likes, that'd be great.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, actually CBR.com actually explained the ending. So I'm gonna send it to you so
Oh
you can
Jesus!
just, peruse, since I don't want you to go through 20 minutes of
Yeah.
torture.
Actually, before I go, the weird thing. This is what I actually wanted to say was when I saw her do the equivalent of web swinging, where she used her arms to swing.
Hmm.
It was. I'm not gonna lie, it looked gross. No, actually, I wonder how they're gonna do Miss Marvel with that stuff, and then actually, if they can't pull it off with Miss Marvel, I don't know how you do that with Reed Richards. Like, I'm being fair now. Like, if I found that gross, I don't know how you do that with Reed Richards and make it not look gross.
Yeah, I know. It's quite interesting.
Because the Fantastic Four is going to eventually go to the big screen. I it just when I saw the game, this was the game. It just looked gross. When she did with the, I don't know. I'm biased because I am biased, but like I'm not gonna lie. She's my favorite character in the Marvel universe. So let's not get it twisted.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Um,
Anyway,
let's
I
talk
digress.
about let's move away from that to the happier, more interesting stuff in the
Yes,
video
there's a
game
lot of
industry.
gaming news. We need to talk.
So the past 2 weeks we missed. A lot of Xbox news came up, a lot of next gen stuff, and I think let's talk about that. November 10th, we've got the Xbox Series X coming out, and in that we've also got prices for the Xbox Series X, which is $499, $500. But in a not so well kept secret, Microsoft has announced the Series S, which everyone speculated would be the cheaper console, and it is at $299. And as expected with a cheaper console, it's no disc, it's less powerful, it's white with a black speaker looking thing, which honestly, the memes of it being a speaker box is appropriate, but
Mhm.
interesting.
Mhm.
Let's stop. Well, oh, before that, they did announce the whole Xbox All Access program where you pay $24.99 a month on the Series S for 2 years, and you get yourself an option to upgrade from a Series S to a Series X. Or if you want to go to a Series X, you pay, I think it's
Mhm.
$35 a month.
Which is kind of cool. It's kind of compelling, actually.
And you get a year. Wait, is it a year or two of Ultimate? Which
You get blah blah blah. I'm trying to read up on
I'm
this
trying. You
Xbox's
definitely get a.
website.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Um,
read their thing too, and I'm screwing the 24.
yeah,
So
24 months.
months. So that's 2 years, which actually isn't bad. That being and with your Game Pass, you get the EA Play Access, which is originally the EA. What is it? Or not
Oh
Origin?
crap! Does that mean I need to cancel my membership? I paid like that.
Actually, I probably need to do that too because they're about to take my, was it $30?
Yeah, for a
$30?
year. I mean, it was $30 for a year, which is like
But
nothing.
it's part of my ultimate. So then
Yeah,
hence I'm double paying, and EA, the greedy bastards, are double dipping on my wallet.
exactly.
That being said, you could play Madden, which you won't get to play the new Madden. You just have to wait till it becomes off season.
You
But
can also play Mass Effect.
yeah, I guess. But I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the other worst kept secret, which is the Mass Effect remastered. But let's get back to let us get back to the Xbox piece. And
Yeah.
you've got a lot of value here, whether you want the ultimate game console or you just want the ability to play the game at 60 frames per second with a 1080p or maybe 1440p output. You have the ability to buy it up front like you normally do. You have the ability to pay it in 2 years, over 2 years. And you get value with this ultimate now that you get the EA access. Actually, EA Play, that's what it was. EA Access was the game service. It's a lot of value. I mean, if you never, like, if your main game was PlayStation, it's almost it's almost compelling if you're just a Madden, NBA 2K, Call of Duty person that if you just want to play it and you don't have a 4K TV, it's tempting because your subscription takes care of all the other games. And we saw with the last show, you basically got all those games on Game Pass. So pausing and leaving it to you, what do you think?
I think it's really, really cool, actually, and really tempting because for me, like, what the heck? Like, you can basically do that, get all this at a monthly cost. So it's not you're not going to feel it because it's not all up front and everything like that. You actually can pay it off in monthly installments, and then you get so I'll split the two up. There's the unit. The S is a really affordable price. I think that's a fair price, and that it's all digital because everything you do will be digital. You'll probably just need to upgrade the memory because what is the memory that comes on that thing?
I think you get I have to look on but I think you get a terabyte. I think.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that being said, you know, you have enough to get you what you need. You know what I mean? So to me, that's key. And if you wanted to, you could get the bigger one, which is even better. So why not? Why not get the bigger one? Um, or the bigger, I say bigger, but the one with, like, the frames per second, the streaming, the blah blah, like the big bells and whistles, if you will.
Mhm.
The cool thing about it, and I think of it as actually a freebie, is the 24 months of Game Pass Ultimate. Because if you were a PC gamer, doesn't that get you access to PC as well?
Yeah, PC Master Race.
So whether or not you play either or, you still get access to both your PC and the system. It's 2 years, so two times 25. That's the value you're getting for free with the $24.99 that you're paying. So if you think about that, you're actually buying the Xbox at a value less than what it retails at, and you
In a
lump all that stuff together.
and in a world of this is COVID where a lot of people were hit financially, it's really tempting. And again, most people are not hardcore. Most people just want Madden 2K, Call of Duty, and maybe Assassin's Creed. Or I think the average person buys 2 games a year. And
Yeah,
for that customer, honestly, that's really compelling.
yeah, exactly. And I like that fact because, you and I used to buy games. We still do to collect them. And we barely get to finish playing them because another game comes up and we get sidetracked. Eventually we finish them, but there's a pile, right, that
I
exists.
never.
So having this digital library is so convenient from a, like, just plain storage. Like, I don't have a pile there like anymore. It's all digital. It's, like I said, it's really convenient. I can't complain. And I really like it, actually. So yeah. So like I said, I think there's value in what they're offering. The pricing analytics that they did in this kind of a world we live in made sense to me. They're not asking you to spend $800 on a system. Like they're giving me an option to pay it monthly and use it, and have the ability to upgrade. By the way, so
Yeah, that's interesting. It's like a phone. They're
yeah,
really approaching this generation like a phone. They really got so it's interesting when they did last generation, they got beat because they had the lower powered machine at launch versus the PlayStation 4, and
yep,
it was $100 more expensive. So instead of compromising on one on price or performance, they split it up and said, "Well, I'll give you price with this box, the Series S, and
yep,
I will give you performance, which is the Series X."
yep.
I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, this naming convention is confusing." Where I'm just like, eh, if you're a casual gamer who doesn't care. I don't think the naming convention is too much. At the end of the day, most of these people like are parents
Mm-hmm.
or grandparents, just getting their grandkid or kid just value. And again, in this world where money's a bit tight for a lot more people than normal, yeah, they're going to look at price, and it's going to be interesting because at $299, yeah, the PlayStation 5 is going to be more powerful than a Series S, but if most people don't have a 4K TV by now, they, because again, most of the houses are still 1080p.
Yep,
And so this is all you need to run the game, get the performance,
yep.
and, just you don't have to do 4K. I will say that Sony's going to respond on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And,
It was gonna
and
say there's a big announcement coming. Ooh.
and it's time I thought Xbox would not be the one to show their hand on the price first, but they did. So now I hope Sony makes it competitive, because if they do not match at $299 for the digital only version, if it's what, $399 and then the disc one is $499,
And
I
you don't get anything. You don't get PlayStation Live or whatever,
well,
or
the
PlayStation Access.
yeah, so if you do, yeah, it's well, first off, their PlayStation Now is not that great right now. They still have to put a lot of investment into that
Yes.
to make it
Yes.
competitive.
Yes.
It's just that if they're stuck at 499 and 450, I think that yeah, the hardcore will still get the PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see how the casual says, I just want to play Fortnite. I just want to play Destiny. And oh, by the way, Destiny's all their expansions are on Game
Yeah.
Pass. Yeah, and then also the One X is still around.
Yep.
It takes a lot of time for normal, like the casuals the normies to go to the next gen anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you may see a faster adoption rate with the $299 price.
Yep. Like I said, okay, I just did the math. That's like a total value of the $299 plus the 24 months is an $899 that you're only paying $299 for. So like you think about it, that $24.99 a month you're paying gets you so much. And like I said, we're not getting paid to push this.
No.
But as a value seeker and as a casual gamer nowadays, I see the value. So I'm curious to see what PlayStation comes back with. Like you said, I am shocked that Microsoft we were doing this chicken game, right? They were doing
Yeah.
the chicken game of like who's gonna announce the prices first. There were a lot of rumors and things like that, and finally Microsoft showed their hand. I think they're showing their hand because the system's ready and it's shipping and it's gonna be November. You know what I mean? November is gonna be the gauge because that's Black Friday. That's November. So um they have to get ready. So you can't hold it off any longer, especially if there are people who are strapped for cash in this day and age or who are, you know, trying to figure out what they want to do. So, like I said, it gives a nice option because you could get your kids like exactly like you said, like a phone. You could get your kids a new system if they never had a system before for $24 a month. You
Yeah.
definitely need the internet to enjoy it. and it's full, the full experience, and you need a TV that can at least, plug into it. But other than that, I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then even then, you could always plug it into your monitor.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm very excited. I'm curious. So, going into the PlayStation announcement that's happening this Wednesday, it will be interesting to see if it's about the system, because if it is about the pricing, or is it going to be about the games, or is it going to be an announcement about PlayStation Now? Like, I agree with you, and we've talked about it before. The infrastructure needs to be there to support something like this, and that's what I think Microsoft has been working hard on to figure out. I think there are still kinks in the system because, a couple weeks ago, there was a system-wide outage. People couldn't play their games, and that's when everything crumbles. But if you keep it running, you have the players. Like, people can't play Fortnite, people can't play Minecraft without other people. It's just not enjoyable. So,
Yeah, I know it's got I mean, PlayStation definitely has exclusives, don't get me wrong. I I just I know that the reason they won though is relatively price and performance, right? In a weird way.
mhm,
Um, I don't know. PlayStation does have a better brand, but if you're trying to win over the casual market, I just see the price piece of it. So if Sony does not release their prices, which I think they obviously for them to have released a date for an event quickly as they did after the price was announced, they must have always had their price, and I think they should have probably known that the prices were going to be set there. So maybe because they did it so quickly, I think they're going to they may hit at the 399, and for their sake, I hope they do.
yeah.
I just struggle now when Sony, what's never talked about, Sony on their in quarter call said that they want to explore the putting their exclusives on PC. And then I'm like, okay, we knew Microsoft already did that. And then Sony really enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn's success. And I'm like, do I really need any of these consoles? Because everyone's just going on PC and my PC can play.
Mhm.
Um, that's the interesting value proposition I need. So that's why I say the Microsoft one, for someone who has basically, actually, surprisingly, this gen, I think I have all the systems. I have the Switch too.
Yeah.
Um, I like to see them compel me with that. Here's the value, and don't get me wrong. I love sitting on a couch playing the console. It is just pick up and play.
Yep.
But PC, look, I may not get it at 4K, but my monitor was never 4K, and it's 1080p. It's in my face, and as long as the textures are fine, you run it at 60 plus frames. I think I'm okay. I mean, that like again, it's I can't me personally, I'm losing all the time I can to play, and it's there's just too many games piling up. I don't even know how I'm going to do Cyberpunk.
You're just gonna have to prioritize like
Oh, did you
one.
know that they're doing a Nightwire episode 3?
Oh, when is that?
I need to look up that, but we do need to do a little bit of a reaction because you're gonna hold your breath, think Keanu's gonna go on the phone and
Yep.
talk about it, but he's
Yep.
not.
But you know what he is doing? He is shooting video to support Berserker, his Kickstarter project.
Oh, we gotta talk about this. Uh, Number one, full disclosure. Don't you have to say something about that?
Yes, so number one, full disclosure, I'm not telling everyone. I'm not getting paid to tell everyone about this. Number two, I am a backer. I support it. So I will say I'm very excited about it. Was there anything else that I had to say?
No. Now let's talk about that because I didn't realize that it Kickstarter was only for a specific person as opposed to it being a platform anyone can use.
Yep.
So Keanu is getting killed, or maybe his team, but he's getting killed because he, a famous celebrity, is taking his comic book and using Kickstarter to fund it, even though he is going through a publisher. I forgot what the publisher is, but he's going through a publisher.
Yeah, he's actually going through a publisher, and they are bringing the comic book in the not volumes, the issues.
The floppies, yeah.
The issues will be coming to your local comic book store. So they will be going through the normal kind of comic book sort of thing. This is just the graphic novel set. It's a 3 graphic novel set. They already have the money to do it. They're not trying to get money to put the comic book out. It's called Boom Studios. That's the So I mean, they are not in need of it. This is just to bring the graphic novel collection to people of the 12 chapters of this comic. And it's a pre-order because they're going to be released September 2021, April 2022, and September 2022. And each of these graphic novels, like I said, they're going to be like in a package, like a container if you want, whatever tier you want. We'll have different artists doing the covers. You can have soft cover, hardcover. The one that has like you could even be in it was 2,500. It's sold out. There was like a gunmetal sort of cover for it. So like I said, like really, really cool concept and everything. But they were very clear in the Kickstarter that this isn't to fund the comic book. This is just to give the collectors the graphic novels in the format that they would choose.
Yeah, but they didn't. So the people that were attacking him for it didn't like the idea that a person who didn't need help is going on Kickstarter. It's only for, small indie people. And, there's a certain level of profit that you should have only from Kickstarter, because if you look at certain projects, they make it a point to show off that they're, that they are, that they are only taking X amount of percent of profit. It's kind of crazy. And, where was that energy when Todd McFarlane was doing his Spawn thing?
Yeah, no, they didn't.
Because you know what? No one's going to... Todd will tell them to pound sand.
Yeah, exactly. But I felt bad because this is actually like Keanu's brainchild. It doesn't mean that he's like, you don't need to be poor to be doing this. That's what I'm just trying to understand. Like this concept that Kickstarter is for people who are there are people who are taking advantage of the system, but there are people who really want to bring to life the projects, but they need help. And they also want to bring it to the people who want these projects, because not everything is for everyone in there. And so, a lot of these, when you talk to a comic book artist, you will find that their life is not glitz and glamour. It's like hard work and deadlines, just like anyone who's working in a job. So, and not just that, some of them actually work other jobs. They work day jobs because being a comic book artist isn't enough to put food on the table for a family sometimes. So, I will say in speaking with some artists in the industry, and in just watching some of them on YouTube, on their channels, you really get to understand they're not making riches off of us. They're not millionaires. They don't all get to be Jim Lee. No offense, because Jim Lee came up from the ground up. But you don't all get that happy ending. You don't all get to be in the C-suite. And so these people, these artists, they do these Kickstarters to make the dreams come true. So why can't Keanu and his, this Boom Studios do the same? Because maybe the printing that they got their contracts with they only agreed to print the issues, not the graphic novel. So, like I said, the I don't understand why they're getting so much flack for doing something that everyone else is doing.
Yeah, that's a great question, but we have to just say we had to do our Keanu, didn't we?
Yes, we did. I had to. I just had to.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking of the scene in John Wick 3 where it's the post credits where after the manager of the hotel like betrays him and shoots him off the roof, and then Lawrence Fishburne's character like picks up and he's like, "Are you pissed off?" And he's like, "Yeah." He didn't even say "f yeah." He's just like, "Yeah." That's like my favorite scene because it's just like I he just acts it in a way Keanu would normally act it. So we need more Keanu. We need more of him in
We
video
need more
games.
people like him. I tell you, I'll never forget that one video that surfaced on YouTube where they were stuck on a flight and he basically rented a van and got a driver and asked a few people if they wanted to ride with him to get to where they were trying to get to. And that's just the type of person he seems to be. So I don't know
Yeah.
him personally, but that is just one of the things I was just very shocked at. He had the capacity to do something like that for people he had no like he didn't know. He could have been like, I only travel like in style because I'm a movie star, but he wasn't. He's like, I'm renting a van. Do a couple of you want to come with me? Um,
That just sounds like Keanu. It
exactly,
just does.
exactly. So,
With that
um,
said, I think we got anything else before I end the doubleheader that we just had?
no, no, I think we caught up on whatever we could, and it was good.
Yeah, it was great. So, looking forward to the podcast, and yeah. So, for those who like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you are subscribed, please hit the bell for notifications so you know when we go live or when we drop new content. And we also are on Twitter at Justice Sith, and we're looking forward to hearing from you guys. So, till then, see you on the Sith side.
Bye.